Now, as you might be aware, we are in the era of the stump fish. You've seen the posts, right? You know, I've been posting a lot about it. Or at least we're almost there. Now, the knife should be at BladeHQ as the production is wrapped up. I'm trying to time this video a little bit closer to the release. They're snug tightly in their slightly altered version of the box you first saw on the Stump Lifter. We spared no expense here. Just had to change half of it, Stump Lifter to Stump Fish. Now, if you are aware, this knife is based upon a favorite classic pattern of mine. I mean, I didn't invent the pattern, but this pattern has been floating around since the early 1900s. You can find it in a lot of classic catalogs. You know, and I don't look a day over 60, so it works out well. But I like this pattern, and this is my take on it. Now, here are a couple other takes on the pattern that I was kind of inspired by. So, you know, if you're unfamiliar with the style, here is your familiarization with it. It's mostly just GECs and Rough Riders. The other ones are a little harder to procure. It's not the most popular pattern, and I'm not the most popular knife YouTuber, so it really works out well for both of us. They're kind of a cult classic. I will say, though, for the finer classic examples, including some of the legacy US makers, they can be pricey on the secondhand market. Sunfish patterns are generally larger than a standard traditional and taller in the blade handle, and they're, you know, a little heavier too. Now let's look at the details on my take. First, let's start with the blade, which is right at about 3 inches. 154 cm steel like the Stump Lifter. We'll throw up the dimensions I put on the prior video. Now this time, because of the grind height, or the tallnesses as we know it here, we went with a flat grind for edge stability. We decided to go stainless again, mostly because I couldn't find an affordable carbon that I liked that the OEM QSP could source, but secondarily because it's a gateway traditional pattern, and many traditional curious folks may not like the maintenance and the mindfulness required of a full carbon steel blade. You know, it's what we refer to as a carbon steel blade. Now, I gave my brother a carbon steel fixed blade somebody gave me a while back, and he says he loves it, but he asks, why does it spot and rust a bit? And I go, well, it's because you got to take care of it. You got to oil it. You got to, you know, dry it off. Anyway, the blade on the Stumpfish is unmarked and uncoated per my wishes, just like the Stump Lifter. Now, the blade does not lock because it is a slip joint. It has a spring on the stiffer side per my specifications. You know, I don't really consider slip joints as hard use knives, but I wanted it to stay in place for an especially challenging Amazon bubble mailer. You don't want to bushcraft with these. Now, to compensate for the stiffer back spring, we have an easy opening relief and a milled oversized pole, so you can grab your little fingers on there and pull it out. Blade has a half stop, and the back spring is flush in all 3 positions. Obviously, it's flush closed. It should be. But less common is a flush in the half stop. Also common is a flush fully opened back spring. Now, even though this is stainless steel construction, make sure you dry the blade if it comes in contact with your precious bodily fluids or fluids not from your person. 3-in-1 oil works well, keeps the spring oiled and pivot oiled. I know it's not the most like knife-specific oil, but it has worked well for me over the years. I still have a bottle in 3-in-1 I've been working on for years. Your Stumpfish comes a little gritty. Lube in the pivot area and opening and closing repeatedly, but safely, helps to flush out some of the materials, causing friction and grittiness in the pivot area. This is something fans of traditionals know well and called flushing the pivot. Now, the knife is extremely sharp out of the box. It cuts stuff well, like a fine pocket knife should be. Now, if you'd like the story on how the knife came to be, there is a longer video that goes through the design history and, you know, how it relates to the Stump Lifter. I put out a couple months ago, you know, including some of the early drawings of it. Now, the handle here comes in 3 colors. 2 are natural bone covers, and 1 is a canvas micarta, or micarta as we call it. We have a nice loud purplish color that will vary in the amount of purple, pink, and fuchsia in the covers. We call this the Cosmic Berry Puree bone. It is my favorite smooth bone. I think I incorrectly called it a smooth natural bone. I think natural would be a little more like whitish color. I think that's how we refer to it, but it is smooth bone and it is dyed. And I can't think of another traditional bone cover that looks quite like this. Next is the evolution of the yellow-orange bone in the Stump Lifter. I preferred the oranger of the Stump Lifters, and this one is more of that. I said I want orange bone here. So this one's more of a fire or lava orange. We call this lava flow tangerine. Again, a bit of a loud cover and not a color quite like anything else out there. Want these to set themselves apart. Now the bone cover varies from handle to handle, so yours might be a little more yellow, or it might be a little more orange, or a little more, a little red in there too. Not like a red, but like a orangish red. Some will have more even coloration, and some will be very spotty. Bone is my favorite traditional cover material because no two look alike. Some people are not going to be happy because they like the pictures of the other one, but it is the luck of the draw with the bone covers. Then you have the micarta, which is, I'm going to call it micarta, right? I'm not changing now. Then you have the micarta, which is a thick textured micarta that I decided to call gunny sack micarta, but it's probably more commonly called like a burlap, a rough burlap, dark brown. No two exactly will be alike. No two will be exactly alike. Strike that, reverse it. And of course, there is no pocket clip. This is a traditional knife. Some people are like, hey, you want to put a pocket clip on this? And I couldn't think of a good way to put it on there. And that it may have taken another 2 years to figure out something I was happy with. I like these better without pocket clips on them. But like last time on the Stump Lifter, we have Matt from FP Leatherworks making the slips. He has made them in a variety of leather colors and textures. Some match the covers more than others. I'm sure you'll find one out of the variety. He sent me a few here as samples. Could keep, probably want to maybe give some away. This one here, the slip is a little more rounded pill design that has easy access. He tried to match the contours of the Stumpfish. Very nice thick leather. Everybody loved the slips last time, and you'll love these too if you decide to purchase these separately. They are completely optional and purchased only over on his website, so please go over there if you like one, as well as I think they come with the keychain with the logo on there. If you like that, they're beautiful, and I love them, and you will love them too. All right, I will post the release date on the screen here. As of the recording of this voiceover, I still don't know. Okay, turns out actually I do know. This is a couple days later. This is a different day. November 14th is the tentative release date now. The knives have actually been shipped, and unless there's like some sort of weird glitch or technical error, November 14th is the release date. If you haven't signed up for alerts yet, please do. If this knife does well and sells well through the stock, there are plans for a third knife and a Stump Lifter rerun in different cover materials. But my idea was if we ever did a rerun of the Stump Lifter, we'd do it in different colors, and that's what we're going to do. No retreading and no re-releasing, so it'll make them, I don't want to say collectible. It's selling them a little too much, but it will make sure that yours are unique and you won't see them again. Anyway, say hi to the patrons. They make it all possible. You can be a patron too if you go over to patreon.com. I hope you like it. I am really happy and I am really proud of it. I think it is a great looking knife. I'm happy with the way all the details turned out. It's just a beautiful all around sunfish pattern, and it doesn't quite look like other sunfish patterns. That's my take on it. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching.